Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your June 2025 reading. We are diving into the energies of the month of June, finding out any spiritual message, any messages from spirit of what you can expect in the month of June. Okay. So I am using the spiritual tarot deck and going to start there. And then I will get clarifiers from the traditional Rider Waite Smith deck. Okay. Let's go ahead and, before I continue, I do want to invite you to like and subscribe if you have not. Welcome to the channel. I am Tamara Larice if you are new. And if any of you are looking for that link to book your personal reading, that's in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and start pulling cards for the month of June for Capricornians. Oh, I like where that's starting out. That is very fast moving energy. I believe it's one of the fastest cards in the deck. It is Jupiter in Sagittarius and is all about your expansion and you being aligned with what is yours, what you have wanted. That giant gem in the middle is your manifestation. Oh my Lord, look at you, Capricorn. That is the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, relationship with self. That is such harmony with your true self that your cup overfloweth and that you are able to then fill others' cups. Okay, I like that. And the third card is Magician. Well, we can just end the reading right there. I'm like, you're aligned to what you want. You are aligned to yourself, and look at you in a very balanced way. Absolutely manifesting anything that your heart desires. Okay, that the magician is balanced manifestation. It's literally bringing in the esoteric or spiritual version of what you desire, and using all the elements at your disposal: your intellect, your action, your financial resources, and your emotions, all balanced in a way that manifests what you want into a physical reality. And now we here have the the eight of pentacles, which is what you have been focused on. You have like incredible focus here, something that you've been working on, something you want to bring into the world. I really, and you're showing it off to the world. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those clarifiers. Go a little bit deeper into this reading for you. We have the Death card, oh, along with the Four of. Trying to decide if this one was reversed or not. I think it is. It's interesting that one's reversed. Okay. So the Four of Wands, peace, balance, literally letting your emotions be your guide instead of thinking your way through things. You let your mind. It's meditation, really. What that is you have quieted your logical thinking mind in order to allow a transformation to take place. Now, the the Knight of Cups is the action here. All knights are action. And the action here is that you are opening yourself up to receive. But it seems that it's almost as if where you're coming from, you knew that you weren't quite ready to open up at that exact moment. You're being very particular, very focused, very intentional. And when you were going to open yourself up to be able to receive, everything had to be just right and with precision. I mean, this is a perfect execution of manifestation right here. All right, the perfect setup for it. I mean, the whole reading looks like perfect execution of manifestation. But let's go ahead with the Chariot. Okay, so here you are. One more. Wow. The reason I'm taking a step back here, which I believe that is very resonant again with your reading, you taking a step back, okay? Because you're not gonna waste the energy that you've got right now. It's so the Chariot is a card of movement, and the Knight of Wands is a card of movement. The Chariot is where you are emotionally connected to what you desire, and you're being driven by your willpower, your solar plexus here to go forward, and letting the higher self sort of balance out the duality. So you've neutralized the idea of duality, and now we have the Chariot reversed though, along with the Knight of Wands. Why Knight of Wands isn't a card of action, right? And this is bold action. This is adventure action. This is like throwing all caution to the wind action. This is like not necessarily caring about the consequences type of action, which is very interesting because here you are being very particular about not ready to open up. Here you're connected to spirit, connected to your higher self. This is like maybe, well, let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for that Chariot right there. Okay. 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 Yeah, that does help quite a bit. Let's get one more for the Chariot and then two more for the Knight of Wands. Okay. Okay. So you're connected to your higher self. You're so fulfilled right now and feeling so blessed in your life that your cup overfloweth, right? And now you're ready to take bold action. I guess you understand because both of these are about making a decision. Twos are decision making cards, okay? With the Chariot, the reason why part of you is not necessarily making the decision. um this is this is interesting, very 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 interesting. So there's a heartache with this five of cups. Something about the decision that you're making actually is painful, okay? And it may be because you're saying goodbye to somebody, or there's some sort of influence or something around you that maybe from the past has caused pain, okay? Because he's looking back, all right? Instead of looking forward, he's taking a pause here to look back. Here's an assessment with this Knight of Wands. There is an assessment, okay, of like, what am I getting in return for everything that I put in? Okay, the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles over here, which is the underpinning energy of your whole reading. So it makes sense that at some point in your reading, you would have to have taken that assessment of like what taking stock of what you have been working on and if it's paying off for you. What you've been working on here has been spiritually driven. It's definitely been ideas. It's been inspired. This is where spirit inspires creativity. Okay. And then here's this decision and not using your emotions to make the decision. I think that you get to this point where you're feeling fulfilled, but it's what you're being most particular about here, Capricorn, is which part of you you're going to allow to kind of come out of the box to play. Okay. So there may be something painful in your experience, some sort of healing that may need to happen, and you're not necessarily ready to take the step. You're not necessarily ready to take the step where that's been completely healed or being able to heal. I think that you're going ahead and moving forward with that heartbreak, heartache, something here that's causing some sort of lower level emotions, despair, distress, regret. I think that there is an element of this in here, but you're not letting it stop you or influence you. You're just going to go ahead almost recklessly anyways. We're here, you're not ready to receive, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. You're tapped into some sort of well-being energy and you're ready to go and you're not going to let this slow you down. Okay. But it kind of blinds you. You know that you want your world bigger. You know that you're ready to pour your heart and soul into something that is meaningful and purposeful, something you're passionate about, something inspired, right? But you're not, but the energy that you're in right now is saying that you're kind of blinded to everything being offered to you within this situation. It seems to me that you are at a point of your current energy is at a point of a little bit of confusion and you're ready to, without having the answers, and the answer is heal this wound. Okay. But you don't want to look at it. You don't want to look at it. You just want to go. Okay. But it could be causing a little bit of blindness there. All right, let's go ahead and find out what the energies of June look like for you. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, your card there, Devil. You have Death and the Devil. You have the Fool. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Swords. Okay. Magician, manifestation. This is balance manifestation. We already went over that. The Devil. This is Saturn energy. This is where you have been bound to some belief. Okay. Now, of some belief that had held you in a particular dynamic, a particular situation, and you had not been able to break free from it until this energy hits. Okay. And I think that what it is, now that I'm seeing this card under the at the bottom of the deck here, what I think is happening is trusted, you have trusted a belief or trusted a person or trusted a like corporation, something that you had trusted something in your life only to find out that they didn't have your best interests at heart. And I think that your current energy says that you don't really want to admit that fully and completely, but in the month of June, you do. The month of June, you recognize it to the point that you cannot deny it anymore. And that's the moment that you break free from these shackles and you start something brand new before, where you're able to say, I got everything that I needed from where I was. Bless you, situation. You have prepared me for where I actually need to be going. Where I actually need to be going. And let's go ahead and pull some. I mean, you have some very powerful energies here that you have been invoking, okay? Because you're tapped in. You have this perfect clarity of what you want. You're willing to do the inner work in order to get it. You're willing to keep yourself not getting it until it's just right. You're tapped into yourself. But now there's like some like reckless movement, some reckless action, and why? Why all of a sudden did it go awry? And that's because there was somebody or something involved in this equation that was not good for you. You needed to have a new strategy. You needed to have a new plan for yourself. And you recognize that exactly what it was in the month, whatever that thing is that you didn't want to see, you couldn't see before, didn't want to admit, and that's okay because we all do that. But Saturn is not letting any of us, I mean, your ruling planet's going into Aries, right? This is an Aries card right here. You know that it's time to move. You know it's time to go. You know it's time for a new structure in your life. Ace of Swords. I'm just going to lay these over top here. Ace of Swords. This is for additional advice or information from. There we go. Oh my God. Okay. Literally right there. Ace of Swords. Truth. Clarity. A new perspective. Okay. Once you get that truth, once you get that clarity, once you recognize what's really actually happening at the core of the situation, you recognize that it's time for you to go because you're going to start something brand new for yourself. Now, that's the chariot. This is the Chariot reversed here because you're going to be reckless. You aren't going to necessarily let spirit do the guiding on all of it. Okay. It's like you were so close to having what you wanted. You wouldn't admit that there might be an element of where you're going that wasn't quite working out for you. Okay. Anything else for Capricorn here? Ace of Cups. Oh my God. And Judgment. And Judgment. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So in the month of June, what will happen is you will have to not pretend or not deny something that needs to come to the surface. It's starting to show itself. You're not really wanting to acknowledge it, but you do acknowledge it. You break free from it, you heal from it, and you start something brand new for yourself. Now you're 100% locked in sync, lockstep, right, with spirit in fulfilling your spiritual call. Okay. The judgment is when you're being called to a higher version of yourself. Literally what this is being shown here, lifting up with the light here, being lifted up, these angelic wings, right? So you're being inspired to move into something that's in more harmony with your purpose for being here. And there's some aspect of your life that's not coming with you for this. Okay. Now, once you see it, you will be able to take immediate action on this starting this new venture for yourself. Okay. And this new venture isn't something that you are just going to be making up. This new venture is something you've been working on for a long time, but maybe it hasn't taken off like you would like it to, and it's ready to now. The energy is right for it to take off and to be something big, something huge. All right. But you have to have truth. You have to be connected with spirit and be guided through this entire process. And you have to have that deep connection to your true self. And you will be manifesting and on the path of it will feel so satisfying and so beautiful. And you will feel so in harmony that you will not actually be in regret. Right now, you might be feeling a little bit of sadness, heartache, regret, betrayal, like some of those things. All of that will be healed in the month of June because you're going to see the truth of the situation. Okay. And that puts you back into, I mean, I don't want to use the word good graces with spirit, but I think that it opens the door because I don't think that we're ever not in good graces with spirit. Spirit just adores the heck out of us all the time. And that's why it feels so bad to move away from spirit. Um, that's that biofeedback that we get, the chemical reaction inside of our body, which is negative emotion right here, is when you have closed yourself off to spiritual guidance. Okay. So you're going to be back in harmony with, you've opened the door back up to that spiritual guidance and that connection with your higher self. And so you're going to feel complete. You're going to feel whole. You're going to feel satisfied. And you're going to feel like everything that you've been working on is now taking off almost like a wildfire. When we have the fastest moving, along with the magician, along with the fool there, you breaking free and starting a brand new structure for yourself. Yeah, this is going to move quickly. The month of June is going to be kind of like a whirlwind for you in the fact of like, oh, all I had to do was really get the truth. Now I see it different. Now I'm not going to hold myself back from being complete. All right. You're not going to hold yourself back from being whole. All right. And I think that that's going to feel really, really, really good in the month of June. I think that you've been looking at a situation in not the same way that your higher self has been looking at the situation. I think Spirit's been trying to get your attention and you wanted to move forward without the acknowledging the nudge. But you can't discount or ignore the nudge any longer because you need to have that open, fluid communion with your higher self for this next phase. And you need your higher self to be going out in front of you, like that Chariot card represents, is that the energy has gone out before you and has prepared a way for you, but you won't know the direction to go unless you're in harmony with spirit. So do not deny yourself that relationship with who you really are, and everything picks up. Okay, it's just one truth. There's one truth that you have to see. And when you acknowledge that, game on. It's game on, Capricorn. All right, thank you so much for being here with me. I love every one of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.